Does anybody look at people and think, if you were a food, what would you be? Is that just me? Like, sometimes when I look at my fiance, I'm like, oh, you're a pickle. But you're not one of those little baby dill pickles. You're the big pickle. You know, the big ones in the big barrel with a little bit of Tabasco sauce because he's extra spicy. You know? Like, I feel like when people look at me, I'm like a caramel macchiato with 2% milk and 3 shots because standard is 2 shots, but we're above the standard here, so I'm an extra shot. I'm 3 shots, right? That's how I feel. When I look at people, I'm like, what kind of food would you be? Anyways, I'm excited for you guys to be here. Did you guys all like the tour yesterday? I don't think we have anybody new that's here round 2. You guys all saw the tour, yes? What were some of your guys' favorite parts of the tour? And you guys can just talk out loud. We're just in a room. Intentionality, yes? Yeah, visible. So what is it? Oh, organs. Yeah. Yeah, that is big. Our intentionality, that is important to us, and everybody having a piece in here. Who else? What else did you guys take from the tour? Or it can be anything yesterday. It doesn't have to like specifically be the tour. The lions? I know, I feel like we have like 20 different versions of lions in here. Yeah, and we're always like making new designs of lions. And let me tell you, our shirts, like Andy, I feel like every day is coming up with like a new shirt design, so we also have new shirts. Casey, can you pass these 2 keys back to them? Those 2. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know what's really what I think about and actually this is kind of where we'll start. Sorry, I'm gonna pass one over key. Haley, can you pass this back right behind you? Haley, can you give this next to the gal that just walked in? You know what I love about this company is, like I'm 1099 in this company. I have my own business, but I'm all still building my own brand too. Tony, will you give this key to the gentleman that just walked in with the red coat? Thank you. Did everybody get a key? Everybody got a key? Okay, so the way that my brain kind of works working in this company, so I've been here for 4 years. I found Andy on YouTube in 2021. I was working at a car dealership for 10 years. And I found this guy on YouTube, and it said, shoot me at a text 918-210-0254 if you want to learn how to make $700,000 selling cars. And I'm like, well, the most amount that I ever made was like $90,000, $100,000. So I'm like, yeah, like I want to learn how to make more money so I can be financially free. And I remember coming out to a seminar. So I found him in September of 2021, was training on the platform. And then I came out to my first seminar when we were at the elementary school, 5 minutes down the road. And what's really cool, how you were talking about the AC. What was your name again? Mike. Okay. So Mike, one thing that I love that I take pride in is I'm going to make this company a ton of money. And I know that I'm going to do that. And I need to make money so that way we can grow and our brand can grow, right? And so when I see like what motivates me as an employee in this company, and we want to talk about like retaining all of our employees, I know that when I work hard, obviously, I get a portion of the paycheck, and then the Elliots take a profit as well too, right? Well, I feel like a lot of people in business, they're like, where does the rest of the money go? Like, am I funding it into your personal stuff? Like, how is this a hero-making machine, an ecosystem? And so when we started building that building and like seeing it with no AC, and even like there was engineers in that building before we were there, like seeing the progression makes me feel so proud to work here because I'm like, man, all of my money is going to something bigger. Like it makes me more proud to work here. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like I feel like I can take ownership because everything that I work hard for, I see exactly where it's going. Every single brick that's out there, I'm like, that's my brick. I put that brick up. That's me right there. Like I work hard for that. And then these poles that are coming up, I'm like, that's my effort. That's my attitude. That's my intensity. All these little pieces and like the piping that we're getting installed. I'm like, that was my belief. That's my belief. I don't see it as just a piece of metal that's getting put into the ground, right? So like, I think it's really important that when we talk about hiring and retaining our people and like who to look for, those things are really special. And so I passed out a key. I just want to make sure because we had a few other people walk in. Does everybody have a gold key with them? If you can just take it out and put it by your side, you don't need to like put it in the air. Or you can put it in the air and wave your hands in the air and wave it like you just don't care. I've been playing music every night like before we go to bed because we're getting married and my fiance and I are getting married, which I think I've said it like 50 times already. But like every night we've been playing music so that way we're rehearsing it. So when we get to the dance floor, we know how to sing the songs. That's just me. Is it just me? That's just me. I'm just crazy. I just can't wait to party. When you spend $3,000 on a DJ, you best believe I'm gonna get my money's worth for 2 hours on the dance floor. I'm gonna memorize all the songs. Okay, so I kind of want to explain a story to you guys and like my mission here in the Elliott Group and like where we've grown. Okay, so when I first started working for Jacqueline and Andy, there were a bunch of people in my life that I had to, total recreation. We have to cut all those old people out, people that are negative, people that complain. And when I first started in 2022, I started in June of 2022, I was in a relationship with somebody else. And that other person that I was in a relationship with, they were somebody that's like, yeah, I'm all in. I support you. I want the mission. I want to be a part of this. Like, I want to become part of something great. And I said, okay, well, we're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. Who is all business owners in here? Does everybody? Okay, almost everybody. So like, there's things that you have to give up to go to that next level. And so we had a lot of hard conversations of saying, like, we got to cut all these old things out. And sometimes the devil is very, very smart with how he works. And the devil will tell you the things that aren't good for you. He'll brainwash you to think that it's okay. And so this person that I was in a relationship with, he started following back all these old patterns. It was a really, really hard season for me, especially because I was 29 at the time. And this is like my third major relationship. And like, I want to have kids. I want to have a family. And that's really important for me to create a legacy. And I'm 29 years old. I'm like, I guess I'm just going to be with him. You know that feeling when you're like, I guess it's the best shot that I'm going to get, so I'm just going to wait it out and see how it figures out. That was just kind of me. Like, I guess what else am I supposed to do? Like, this is something that I learned from Andy. What a lot of people say is better than most. And I always used to tell myself that, like, well, it's better than most. I'll take it because it's better than most. But I didn't realize that I was settling. And so in this relationship, there finally came a point in time where like I get capped, and I'm like, I remember like I would go home and I'd be like, well, what are you doing? And I'm like, we need to work with clients, like we need to create the brand, we need to build, and I'd come home and he was drinking or he was playing video games. And so I thought to myself, all these things, all these habits, right? Are they bringing us closer to our goal, or are they taking us further away? So I started realizing that in order to get to the next level in business and building your team, like we have to start cutting those things out. And long story short, I'm a reborn again Christian as a year and a half ago. My fiance and I got baptized together. Yes, very exciting. But I remember Andy used to always say, like, you got to have God in your heart. You got to have God in your heart, God in your heart. And I'm like, I don't really know what that meant, but I was raised in a Catholic school, but we go to Impact Church here at North Scottsdale. And I remember going one time, and I remember just thinking, like, there's something special about this place. And then I saw Tommy get on his knees. If you guys haven't met Tommy yet, he's got the widest shoulders on planet Earth, okay? He's huge. But I remember him getting on his knees and him crying, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this life really, really, really bad, you know? And so I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life? Like, how am I gonna continue to build this brand? How do I reach these next levels? And so I said, I'm gonna have to break up with this person. Like, they're not helping me, and we got to cut all those old leashes and those bad people. And I just couldn't get it, because I'm like, we're in this environment. Like, we're a hero-making machine. How do you not get it? What is wrong with you? I was so frustrated, and then I realized you can't change people. And he wasn't willing to change, and I couldn't do anything else. And so I remember I was like, I'm gonna break up with him. Like, I'm gonna go through this process. So I go home, and I started thinking to myself, like, what would my life be like if I had somebody in my life? Because there's 3 people that we represent. And I would really encourage everybody to write this down. There's 3 people that you represent: God or your spirit, whatever you believe in. Okay, your spouse is number 2. Okay, and number 3 is going to be your team. This is how we operate. And for me, number 4 is Jacqueline and Andy Elliott. Like, we wear Elliott shirts everywhere. This is like my order of operation, like how my heart and how my soul works. And so I just told myself, like, who would I become if I found somebody that supported me in all these things, that did all these things? And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go break up with him. And let me tell you, have you guys ever had a crazy ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend? Give me a story. The big old bicep guy. What happened? She put shaving cream in your TV and you came home and it was like stuff with shaving cream. Oh. Yeah. Right. We know those people, right? Where you're like, yeah, you do see the red flags, but you're trying to ignore them, ignore all those things because you're just trying to get by. And so I remember going home and I'm like, hey, things aren't going to work out. And you know what's crazy is we had just re-signed the lease of where we were staying at together. So I'm like, oh, great. Like somebody's got to break the lease. Well, at the time, I wasn't making any money here yet. I wasn't making any money in the company here yet. And I just believed blindly. Like I believe what Jacqueline and Andy were saying, like you got to have faith. That little room right over there with that pad, like that used to be a dirt floor, no coloring. There was a whiteboard back there and I would just cold call dealerships all day long. And I wasn't given like leads. I actually wasn't even allowed to work upstairs yet. I had to stay downstairs because Jacqueline wanted to see if I was going to make it for 3 months. And she's like, all right, you graduated. You can move upstairs. You remember the washer and dryer I was talking about yesterday? I was like, let's go. I get to get moved upstairs. So back to this, I go home and I say, hey, things aren't going to work out. And so he starts a suing process on me. And he's like, I'm going to sue you because we owe 20, I think it was like 20 grand or something, 15 grand back that's left on the lease on the house that we were leasing together in Mesa. And I'm just like, I don't really have any money. Like, I don't like, and he's like, well, it's your fault. And I said, what do you mean it's your fault? And he goes, it's your fault that you want to break up. It's not my problem. It's your problem. And you're going to have to figure that out. And I'm like, well, that's not fair because both of our names are legally on the rent. And he's like, nope, you're going to have to do it or else I'm going to get lawyers involved. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. And I remember sitting there. And at the time, it's funny how you can connect the dots looking backwards, but you can't connect them looking forward. But I remember sitting there and who my fiance is now, I looked at him, but we were just friends at the time. And I right when this payment needed to be due for us to break this lease, because Andy believes in standards. If something doesn't serve you, I don't care how much money it's going to cost to get rid of that situation. Like we're going to bankrupt this ass and we're going to move and we're going to sleep on mattresses if that's what we have to do. But I remember looking at my friend at the time and now my fiance, and I'm like, what do I do? And just by sheer chance, that next day, I got my first like 20 grand paycheck from the Elliott Group. It was my first one. And I was just like in tears because I'm like, I got bills to pay like this. I had my dream car. I had to go sell it to AutoNation and North Scottsdale just to make extra money to make ends work. And I didn't want to tell Jacqueline and Andy that I'm struggling and not doing well. I feel like everybody's like that in this room. We're really ambitious, right? So we don't like to share our weaknesses with other people. We just deal with it. You know, it's like, it's a part of our DNA. And so I looked at him and Tyler goes, you got to take care of it. You got to pay for it because at the end of the day, he's like, at the end of the day, he's going to have to live with that. And so I said, okay, I'm just going to pay it. And I paid it. And, we broke free. I broke out of it. And I remember that same exact week, my mom was coming out here to visit me, and we were taking my 3 brothers to Disneyland to go on a trip, and she had no idea that any of this stuff was happening. I'm an emotional wreck. Here I am thinking that my dream guy is going to be with me because we're in this environment and things are going to be great. And now I'm like, I'm 29. Here I am like starting out ground zero again. And I was like, where am I going to live? Because my mom is coming out here with my 3 younger brothers. I had no idea where I was going to live. I'm like, I couldn't even apply for an apartment yet because it was just this. So I'm like, what's going to happen? And I'll tell you, I got a text message and I got an email in my inbox. And I'll never forget crying because it was the biggest thing in this company that has shown me that this company will give me more than what I will give it. And that's what I need you to ask yourself. Are you willing to give your company, your team members, more than what they're willing to give you? I got an email that's saying that you have a week stay at an Airbnb here because I was going to go back to Mesa where my ex was going to be at and bring my mom and my 3 brothers, and it would be really awkward. And I looked at the bill, and I'm trying to like piece it together, like, what's this Airbnb? Like, I'm confused. I don't know who found all this stuff out, but Jacqueline Elliott found out that I was going through this. And she took time and money out of her own pocket to pay for an Airbnb for me and my family for us to stay in for a full week until I could figure out what to do. And I remember seeing that, and I called Marielle, some of our admin, and I'm like, what is this? And I'm confused, or like, is this like email for me? And she brings me over a key. And she said, Jacqueline's gonna take care of you and your family for the next week. Anything that you need, food, financially, anything that you need, the Elliots are gonna take care of you to make sure that you have a smooth transition, especially with your family coming out here. And it was that moment that I knew, man, these people would give anything for me. Like, I have never, ever worked for somebody before that has ever paid for anything like that, or thought about an employee like that. Like, everybody's like, it's your own problem, go figure it out. And because of that one moment that changed everything for me, that key that she gave me that had the 3 holes on it with this, it just changed everything for me. And I thought to myself, like, this isn't just a key, but it's explaining to me, like, where I get my heart from. And it painted me so many pictures and lessons. But this key it wasn't just a key to the Airbnb, but it was unlocking me to my next life. Like, think about a locksmith. How many keys do you have to turn into a keyhole over and over and over to get the exact right amount of ridges in order to unlock a door? That's a lot. And I just thought about, like, how precious it is, and I think about, man, now, like, when I say this company has given me everything, look at the team that I have. Look at the people that are around me that support me, that don't judge me, that are pushing me to the next level. And they're always asking me, what can I do to serve you better, Selena? I'm like, I'm trying to serve you, not you serve me. I don't know. Like, it's so crazy how everybody is so selfless. And so I gave everybody a key today because I want you to remember that most people, when they see the key that I gave you, most people just see it as a key, and it's like, I went to this thing and I got a key. And it's like, no, that's one-dimensional. See, that's the problem. Everybody in this world thinks one-dimensional. They just think it's a key to go unlock a door, or like just something that you got from someplace. Whereas I see things in 4-dimension. Okay, so I see things as love. I see it as a new adventure. I see it as I found my husband. I see it as courage. That key gave me courage. And you know what? That was the best thing that had ever happened for me, because every single new employee that has ever come into this building, we take care of them the way that Jacqueline and Andy took care of me. There was a new employee that started 6 months later, and then all the checks just started racking up. I started making more money here, serving people. And I remember this guy coming in. He works here to this day. I remember he gave me a lead one time, and he goes, this guy wants to pay Andy $100,000 to come speak at his event. Like, take the lead, go call him. And I was just like, why me of all other coaches? Like, why did this one person come to me and find me? Because he knew I could take care of him. And so I told myself, this is such a selfless thing to do. I said, if that guy closes on this package, I'm like, I'm going to pay him the $2,000 out of it. And that's exactly what I did, because I found out he didn't have any money for Christmas gifts that year. Christmas was like 2 months away. And so I think of really like paying things forward and in this order. And so when we talk about, when you see the sign that says unrecruitable, build the team your competition can't beat or steal. Like, it's not a slogan or something. Like, we really feel it. And it's crazy when we go into other companies and we diagnose it and we counsel it and we're trying to give them a business plan, and they act like they got the team, but it's like, but you really don't got the team. Like, I am totally cool. Like, Tyler and I multiple times have taken money out of our bank account and gotten zero to bank account to help other people that need us. And that's a team. And we don't owe anybody that. We don't need to explain to anybody that, but we know how secure we are in our hearts. And so when we can get our business to where we're so financially stable and we have that team, it's like, okay, well, what's the next level? Like, we want to get into children's organizations. Like, we want to help more kids, and we want to donate more shoes, and we want to create rehab facilities for kids. Like, there's levels to it. And I think so many people are just looking for, what's the next paycheck? How do I just make money this month? And I'm like, well, how do I make money for the rest of my life? That way I can pay it back forward to more kids and in the future, because that one key just changed everything. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Do you see how, like, the key wasn't just a key, but it's symbolism. Like, I don't just look at one thing. Like, I don't see through things. I see things for what they are. And I don't know why my brain works like this way. Like, I don't know if God just gave it to me as a gift, or like it just got developed over time. But I'm just telling you, everything that I see, I'm like, oh, this isn't just a marker. It is, a tool to recreate your life. But that's what I learned from Andy, is he's like, don't be one-dimensional. You have to have it in all of the dimensions. And, I go back to saying, like, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. Even though maybe the decision that you make today for your team or tomorrow might not feel the best or feel good, just do it out of act because you know it's the right thing to do. And that's just what I've learned so much from Jacqueline and Andy. Like, they are the most selfless people in the world, and because of that, it has trickled down to our team. You know, these audio, like these big speakers that you guys are hearing, like one day one of them went out. And when we walk in, who said about the music? Somebody made a comment about the music or like the vibe, the glasses. Was that you about the glasses? Like the glass, somebody made the comment about the glasses. So like when we just got the glasses installed and we got the music installed, like the speakers went out. Imagine if you guys go upstairs and there's no music. It'd be awkward, right? You guys ever walk into a coffee shop and it's like awkward and you're like, ooh, I don't want to go back to this coffee shop because it's like, you can hear everybody like sipping on their coffee and it's awkward. You're like, ugh, right? So like you're never gonna come upstairs and there's not gonna be music. That's energy. Where energy goes, the motion flows. And so one day our speakers went out. And everybody is up there like, oh, this is awkward. Well, like, I'm not going to be the person to let it continue to be awkward. So what do? What do? We solve the problem, right? Like, that's all that we're looking for is how do we find more solutions? And so I went to Fabio and to Tony, and I'm like, hey, what do we got to do to fix these speakers? Where can we buy one? Right now. Speed. Andy has taught everybody in our company that speed is the most important thing. How fast can you execute? Now, most people would probably take a week or 2 weeks to get a system or install, but I'm like, no. We need this like yesterday. We need this like right now. Like, where can I buy one right now? And Fabio's like, well, there's one at Best Buy. You can go right now. And I said, how much is it? And he's like, $1,200. I'm like, all right, see ya. I'll be back. If I go get it, can you install it? He's like, yep. And that's what we did. And so now you hear the speakers, and we just found a solution for it, right? So, you know, sometimes I feel like in the Elliott Group, it's like hard to explain when you're on the outside of the walls before you experience our team. But gosh, you guys, let me tell you something. Your superpower, it doesn't matter what industry that you're in, if you're virtual or in person, your superpower is you have to stay close to the Elliott Group. You have to. It is the only thing that I've seen in my entire life that is growing at light speeds. While you grow, we grow with you. Like, I don't know of any other company that's building buildings and stadiums and building a location for kids to come to. Like, I just don't know of it. So like, you got to stay close. And then it's like, remember this guy and this. And I'm like, okay, DNA, right? We go back to DNA. This is like one of those squiggly DNA things. With my DNA and that person's DNA, who is our child going to become versus this person that I'm marrying and my DNA with that person? Totally different. I mean, Tyler eats freaking dates for dessert, man. I'm like, you want some dessert tonight? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know, I want some ice cream. And he's like, oh, I'm going to have some dates with some dark chocolate and all organic honey. I'm like, gosh, you're so healthy. He inspires me to be healthier. But I'm like, but imagine that, right? Versus drinking and video games. It's like, who do our kids become? And then our kids are hanging out with Zia upstairs with all the other kids that are active. And it's like, oh my gosh, guess what this is? It's a hero-making machine, literally. And it just keeps going and going and going because we continue to hold the standard. And it's like, if you can just take like 20% of this and like get your freaking wife or husband around here, get your freaking kids around here. Like, if that means you got to move out here, like move out here. Like, half of our clients have relocated, moved out here if you're not in Arizona. Get out here, because this stuff, man, like, it doesn't even matter about money anymore. Like, money is the number one most replaceable commodity in the world. There's millions of it. You're always going to find more of it. You know what matters more to me is the people that I get to do life with. You know, Jacob's daughter, Zia, upstairs, you might have seen her in the kangurua. What is that thing? Kanguru. The baby Zia's up there. She's 9 months old. And you know what the coolest thing about all this, because we made all these, look at all these like courage moves, right? All these courage moves that were made. It's like, we don't even have kids yet, but how cool is it that I got to see Alyssa, no baby, Alyssa pregnant, Alyssa baby, now Alyssa has Zia, and like I saw her from not being able to walk, and like now she's in her stroller thing and she's walking, and then I go like this to her every day and I say, hi, every single day. I've been programming her every day, hi, and now she rolls around and she knows the marshmallow upstairs. She knows to go over to Auntie Selena's spot first before anybody else. And she goes, hi, I was on a podcast yesterday. And she's like, ah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I can't turn around about hi. But she was waiting on me to like interact with her. And she's like, hi. Like, she's getting the ha part down. Like, she says, she says, dad, but she doesn't say mama yet. But she's like, hi. And she's doing this now. And then now she's clapping. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I called Andy 2 nights ago and we were talking about how great our life is. And I'm like, just Zia from nothing when she wasn't even here existed. And now she comes into my office every morning and we just do a little pep talk together. I'm like, that is so cool. And like, who is she going to be? Like, is she going to sit here in this office one day? And so, I get really like fired up on this stuff because it's changed who I am because Jacqueline and Andy changed who they were. Like they totally recreated, they made the sacrifices, and that came down through our leadership team. And ultimately, like we hold the standard. And when we do that, we find people, when you become the person that you need to become, you will attract people like Jonathan. You will attract high-level players that will find you. And they're like, what do you guys drinking? What is in your Kool-Aid? Because I want a piece of that. And then it's like, who does Jonathan become and his kids become? You see what I'm saying? The hero-making machine, throw in the box? Yes. No, you should come up here. Come on. Everybody clap for Tyler. Come on. And then we have 2 minutes, and I'm going to pass it off to Jonathan. Jonathan, you're good in 2 minutes. This is Tyler, if you guys haven't met him yet. You're so sweet. I look forward to going to Mexico with him every year so I could take a fresh lime and squeeze it over his six-pack so I can lick it off. I was just trying to make you guys laugh. Remember I told you guys I'm the funniest out of the twins? Don't forget I said that. I've got the best jokes in the company.
She's not kidding. Yesterday, she put up like a record amount, and so she came home to celebrate. She licked my abs. But to extend off of what Selena's explaining here, like there's this. I have a mentor who's been in my industry for 20 years, built and sold an organization, like super successful, and he said the challenge with most people is a lot of people, they try to use people to grow their company. He said the right way to do it is you build the people, and the people go out there and they build a business. Like you invest in people, and then they go out there and they actually do what they're supposed to. And when you care, he's like, and so what he was saying is, because he just joined the organization, he had a non-compete after he sold his organization, and he's now partnered with the organization that I'm in. And he's like, I was looking for the right DNA, the right people. Because he's like, success will blow in the wind. He's like, it's going to come, it's going to go. And the question is it the right DNA? Is it the right foundation? And he said too many people that are using people to try to grow their company, and it's never going to last. They might have some success for a little while, but the reason that Selina's still here is because the people around here care about her. I mean, she could go be super successful at a lot of different things at a lot of different places. Same with the twins. I mean, all the high-level people that work here, but like, what would it matter if she was only here for 12 months and then left? So I hope that's valuable.
Yeah, it's this place is really special, and this is where like we met, and our legacy comes from here, and we're a testimony. And just like what Jonathan said, stories are everything. And how cool is it when you get to build your business and you have marriage millionaires sitting in your company of people like I don't know if some of you guys might know this, but Andy's an ordained, and Andy's marrying us together. And like when we have our kids middle names, I already planned everything out because I'm a planner and I'm a type A, but they're going to have Jacqueline and Andy's middle names. And some people are like, well, that's really extreme. And I'm like, well, we're really extreme people and we want extreme results. So I think Ian or Evan said this yesterday. He said, we can control, as business owners, we can control what we do from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. during the workday because we're around our employees. But really what's happening after the most important time in a person's life is from that 8 p.m. to the 8 a.m. when they go home at night. Who are the people that are influencing? Like if I came home and I went to Tyler and I just dumped all the garbage and I complained and I talked about, the speaker system's not working and all this, well, he's going to be like, well, geez, that doesn't sound like a good place for you to work at. But I'm like, man, we got this guy today. He came to this event. We changed his life. And he was talking about how crazy he was. He's never been to a place like this. He's like, okay, I support you with that. So really, like when you're looking at hiring and you bring on new people, I really, really encourage you have to meet with the spouse. Like get to know what they are and tell them, hey, Selena's going to be working in our organization. And while she is here, we are going to demand excellence out of her. And I just want you to know that. Like we don't have time for playing patty cakes. Andy said yo-yo the other day, playing yo-yo. I'm like, never heard that from him. Right? So that is a huge, big influence. So moving on, like with Jonathan's systems and moving forward, make sure that you're hiring together as a couple and you're growing as a family together, because this stuff is so much more cooler than even the money. Like, it's really cool to do life with one another. So anyways, Jonathan, this is all for you. Yes, thank you guys, thank you. I'm gonna erase the board for you. Oh, I can take this.
I love you guys. Oh yeah, thank you. Give them a round of applause. Come on, come on. Come on, get up, come on. I love you. Let's go! Let's go! Oh my gosh, you can stay standing because I'm gonna have you get up anyway. Is that powerful? Think about how you would feel about your business if everyone in your organization had that sort of genuine connection to what it was you were trying to build in your community. Would it be huge for you? That's the difference. That's the choice that you have to make. That's really why we wrote the book. Everything that built that sort of real person, it's not a game, it's not a gimmick, it's a skill, it's a playbook that you can learn. But you're gonna have to realize that you're not in the business you're in the business of humans. I love the way she said, don't use people to build your business. Build humans who will build your business, right? That's the game we're in. Think about the power of having someone like that just comes in and says, hey, something's broken. I'll write a couple $1,000 check and it'll be fixed. Didn't even check in with the boss. That happens every single day here. I remember the first time I went and traveled with Andy. I went down, I think I mentioned this yesterday. I went down to Pat Ben David conference. Like 15 of his guys were there, all spent $20,000 out of their own pockets to go hang with Andy and Jackie and learn and get better for the business. Like, I don't think I have one person in my company that might do, well, I better not say that. I have some people here. I have committed people. But like, that's a next level, and it's possible. And it's not just Andy doing it. We've run this playbook, Tommy Mello's company, Ben's company, hundreds of companies. It is step by step, it's possible to do. It starts with making sure you have the right DNA coming into your business. That's why I encourage people to use our platform, because here's the truth. We all think we're good judges of character, right? Would you say you're a good judge of character? And we have divorce rate in our country over 50%. Right? And that's the most important relationship you have probably in life. You probably spent months and months and months getting to know that person. You still have divorce. Like, humans are just not good judges. There are certain kinds of people that will do well in your environment. That's what we help you figure out. Then you create the right environment and all of those things do. I liken it to, if you had a plant, there's certain plants, if you go buy one at the nursery, you put it in direct heat and it's not designed to have direct heat, it withers. So we have to match up what's the kind of seeds that'll do well in your environment. You don't have Andy's environment, right? You have your environment. You have the environment you're trying to build. If you took the people that are in Andy's company and planted them in your company, they might wither just because it's a different kind of soil. It's not good or bad. It's different. The key is figuring out, who are you? Who's your identity? Who do you want to draw to you? Who do you want to do business with? So make sure you're cracking into this book. And really making this serious. Today we're going to go all the way through the practical part of recruiting. We spent a lot of time yesterday talking about us, right? Getting ourselves to be the billboard. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to assume we're going to do that work, and we're really going to get our hands dirty in the practical part of that. We're going to move fairly quick because we have a full agenda. But before we do that, I want you to go out and give at least 10 like full-hearted hugs, like you would want the kind of energy in your business. Go meet somebody. Come on up here, brother. Right? Like, let's start breaking down these weird barriers between people. All right, go meet some people you haven't met. Hey, Arthur.
What's up, brother?
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Listening to your book.
Awesome.
Drive in, it's great.
Awesome. Which one?
The
Sales Boss. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
We'll get the whole thing through by the end of the next week.
Awesome. Love it.
I need some love.